Hey, what's going on, my friends? In this video, we're going to take another updated look at our $25 a week dividend portfolio. Yes, we are contributing $25 a week. And as you guys can see, things are going well. Over the past day, we're up 0.35%, have a gain of a little less than $5, and our current total value of our portfolio is $1,435.84. So things are going well as we continue to build this up. And some of you out there might be watching, maybe you're new to the channel, first time watching this, and you're thinking, why do we only want to do $25? And if that's your thought, that's great because you should want to, contribute more than $25 to some sort of investment portfolio. That said, some people aren't in a position where they have the uh, luxury, we'll call it, to invest more than $25 a week. And some people really are, grinding and trying to just get out the mud, as they call it, trying to make it out the mud. And sometimes you just got to start small. You got to start somewhere. And that's what this portfolio really is designed to do, to show you guys that anyone can start to invest and get your money to grow, get your money to work for you. That's the goal. Too often, too frequently, people, and I was guilty of this myself, where I was kind of intimidated and of course, you have to do some research. You got to do your homework. You got to learn a little bit when it comes to investing, and especially if you're just starting off and getting the ball rolling. But it might seem a little intimidating, and a lot of people just don't do it simply for that one reason, and you don't want to lose your money, of course. That said, contributing $25 a week, if you're in a position where you can contribute more than that, much more, we'll say, then that, you shouldn't be, it shouldn't scare you. You should be willing to give it a shot. And maybe you can't do more than that. Maybe you could only do 20. Maybe you could only do 15. Whatever it is, I would consider starting your portfolio and start to invest. And again, get that money to grow for you, because having it just sit in a savings account, it's not going to cut it. Inflation is going to kill it. And the interest you're going to get from your savings account, it probably isn't even as good as what we've gotten just in the past day, which is 0.35%. Literally, this might even be high compared to most of your interest that you're getting from your savings or checkings account. So that's why you want to start to invest. Having it just sit in that savings account doesn't do you no good. Of course, yeah, you want your emergency account. You want that ability and the option to easily grab and get the money that you need when, the occasion arises, when there is an emergency. Aside from that, that's when you want to start to think about investing. And again, this portfolio, we started it back a little while back with $100 and just have been contributing $25 a week. There was one week we contributed $500 because we received our stimulus check, and we put some of that towards bills. We went out one night, let's say, and I'm just saying, we went out one night, or maybe we bought some Jordans or something, and then we decided to put the rest of it towards our future, towards our house savings account. Maybe this is your college tuition for your kid. Maybe this is, I mean, if it's down the road quite a bit, where you'll need this money, then this is a great option, because you're gonna get that the ability to get it to grow for you with compound interest, and through time, it's gonna just work magical wonders for you. But you have to start. And I have a link down below if you guys haven't started yet with M1 Finance or Webull, in which you can use both of my links down below. You can either get free stocks with Webull if you start and fund your account, or you can get free money with M1 Finance. It's either $30 or $50. It changes. Either way, get the ball rolling. Click the links down below and start to build your wealth. As you can see, when we take a look at our portfolio over the past week, we're actually down 0.92%. Our gains drops to negative $13. So from the past day to the past week, you can see a huge difference there. And so the lesson right here alone, and it'll be a lesson I'll bring up in a moment again, is don't jump ship too soon. Don't just give up. Don't, like, you see something that's maybe it doesn't work well for you in the short term. Well, if it's a long-term, strategy that you're supposed to be taking, don't get hung up on the short term. Now, of course, if you're doing day trading, swing trading, things like that, it's different game. But in this case, this is long term. So we shouldn't be hung up on what happens in one day. Of course, if there's a big major change with a given company in one day, that's going to affect everything after that. So it's more than just one day. But let's keep things rolling. And as you guys can see, over the past month, we're actually down again 0.33%, which is with a gain of negative $4.50. And the past quarter, you can see our returns jumps up to 1.13% with a gain of $14.12. And then 1 year, or all time, you can see we are up 13% with a gain of $113.63. Now, this is really good, my friends. Too often people might, someone had commented, I deleted the douchebag. Someone had made a comment in one of the previous videos, and he was so hung up and just focused on the amount of money and not looking at the bigger picture. If you look at these returns and you see a 13% return, that is really good. I have other portfolios actually that would kill this in terms of the percentage returns that I have in my other portfolios. But those aren't dividend portfolios. Those have a lot of growth companies in those portfolios. So that's why you're going to see the return just kill what we're seeing here. But this is still great. Again, if you're comparing this to what you would have in your savings account, your checking account, it doesn't compare. Not a comparison. So this is really good. We are doing really well with our portfolio so far. And again, I wanted just to show you guys, started back on February 1st, you can see with $100, and we were just contributing $25 every week moving forward. Then we got that stimulus check, and it was like, bam, look at that jump. Helped to just propel us up here much quicker than what it would have been if we were just doing the $25 a week. Something to consider. If you're in a position where you do get extra money and you can contribute more towards that, your house savings, your college tuition for your kids, your retirement, whatever it might be, well, you should consider doing it, because you can see this just helped move us forward much, much quicker, where now we're almost at 1,500. And a large portion of that goes, is credited to that larger contribution that we made. But after that, you can see we just been chipping away at this, doing $25 a week every week, and it's just being consistent is the other big thing you want to think about, my friends. Well, you don't even have to think about it. That's part of the beauty when you're using some of the software, the tools and the platforms we have access to today. You can pretty much just set, your configurations to auto invest and automatically deposit $25 a week, where you don't have to do anything. You just got to make sure you are continuing to work and generate income that is in your checking account, where this will then just grab that $25 a week and do its thing. After that, you don't have to do anything. So that autopilot, that kind of automation is huge, and it's going to do wonders for you, because you'll be able to come back to your portfolio in 5 years and 10 years and say, whoa, how much money do I got in here? I didn't even realize I got all this money up in here. Now, you'll probably be following it more frequently, and it won't be as drastic of a shock or anything like that, because you most likely will have, or well, you might, maybe you won't, but you probably have a portfolio where you have decided on the companies you want to add into your portfolio. If you don't want to have to do that and don't have to worry about it, ETFs might be the route for you. But if you want hands-on and you want to have control and a say over who's in your portfolio and when you get rid of them, when you keep them, this, that, and the other, then you're going to have to do a little more, hands-on action. And you just want to make sure, like, every once in a while, okay, the companies I have in my portfolio are doing well, staying on track, and we're in a good place. This is where we want to be. This is where we're heading in the right direction. Projection is on point. Yeah, they had a few hiccups, but we're good. So, as you can see with our portfolio, we have Realty Income, who is killing it at the top of the list with a 25.64% in our returns. followed by PepsiCo, then we got Newt, and then we got Johnson & Johnson, and then Coca-Cola. So just looking at these top five, it's been consistently for quite a bit, basically between Newt, Realty Income, PepsiCo, and Coca-Cola. Now we're actually seeing, and we did see Newt take quite a bit of a hit, and it kind of had fallen a bit. And this was one of the things, the point that I brought up earlier, that I'll bring up again, is don't get hung up on the short term. Because when we did a video on, we did our update like 2 weeks ago maybe, and Newt had taken this huge hit, and it just hit like a cliff and just fell off, and you can see it here. And if we went to the actual Newt stock, not just our portfolio, you can see it was bad. It's bad. But people, and they, have some changes, some plans that they are most likely going to, purchasing a bank, acquiring a bank, which is new for them. And that's going to change things up a bit. And so a lot of people kind of jumped ship, and the stock was just selling off like crazy, and it took a hit. But as you guys can see, we, decided to keep Newt in here, at least for the time being, because their dividends, they're not cutting their dividends this year. So at least for the time being, I said, let's keep them in here, because I feel confident that things might bounce back for them. I don't know for sure if they will, but I feel confident that they will. And fortunately, we didn't get rid of them. We kept them in the mix, and we're pretty much back on track to where we were before. Let's get rid of this guy. Sorry. So that's, just that little reminder, that little lesson, that tip, because if it's a long-term game, don't necessarily get hung up on the short-term moves, right? The short-term plays, because a long-term gain, someone might score a touchdown over here and no one else scores a touchdown in that quarter, but then the next 2 quarters, the same team who scored the touchdown might not score again, and then the other team scores 3 times. So, hey, let's not just look at the small granular moments, but we're going to take a holistic view and approach as we're building up this portfolio and trying to grow our money. Because that is what it's all about on this channel, helping you with making, managing, and growing your money. As we continue to look at our portfolio, let's get that update in the mix. We got Procter & Gamble at about 13.60%. Then we have 3M at about 8.60%. We have JP Morgan Chase at about 5.60%. Verizon Communications at 1.51%. And at the bottom of our list, now this is one of those examples of someone where it's like, all right, we were following it on a day-to-day. We did get holistic or granular, but decided to keep them in the mix for a little bit just to see how things roll out. Maybe, kind of keep them in here as a lesson. AT&T is just kind of continuing to slowly sink. And just a lot of people weren't happy with their plans and, cutting the dividends. And so I'm not surprised to see this. We shouldn't be surprised. If you've been following, you should not be surprised. You would know. We've talked about AT&T in this. And I've asked you guys, who do you think we should bring into the mix? 1 or 2 of you guys actually responded saying, this company, that company, an ETF. I haven't fully made that decision yet. I'll be completely transparent. I've been swamped with my other job, my actual business, my work. So I haven't had the opportunity to do some more research about, who we want to potentially get in here, what ETF. I thought about maybe Home Depot, Waste Management. I do have them in another portfolio of mine. They've been doing well. So I thought about that, but I also don't want to have, this is my public portfolio, but it's my portfolio too. So I kind of don't want to have, the same company in multiple portfolios. That said, there are tons and tons of other companies, tons of ETFs that we can swap in here and get to take AT&T's place. So let me know what you guys think. Feel free to comment down below with your thoughts about who we should get in the mix for AT&T, or maybe we keep AT&T for the time being, as we've been doing. But you guys can see they've been in the red for quite a bit now, and I think they're going to kind of continue in the red for quite a bit. So we might want to consider getting someone else in there. So let me know what you guys think. Comment down below with your thoughts. Have you started your dividend portfolio? Maybe, watched Savage Finance or someone, and, they're like, well, dividend for dividends and blah, blah, blah. He's a hater. I'm going to say it like it is. And, some it's one of those funny things because if you go back and look at, I don't know if that's the same channel, and this is off topic a little bit. But if you go back and look at one of the other channels, you can see like, all right, clearly he made most of his money from his YouTube channel. I get it. You know, starting a business is a great opportunity, but he never talks about the number of businesses that fail, what percentage of businesses that fail in this country. And when you have a dividend portfolio, some sort of portfolio where it's ran, maybe you're running it if you decide to pick your own companies, but the companies you have in your portfolios are ran by successful business owners and managers and people that have been doing it for years and years and years. And these are companies that are established. So if you can invest a small amount of money in, you know, with a company who has proven themselves and is established, yes, your returns aren't going to be as much as they would be if you had your own company. But at the same time, you have less risk to worry about because all I have to do is change AT&T and get another company to replace them. I can put Waste Management in. They're going to be around and will be doing well for years to come. We get Home Depot in the mix, just whomever. And it's not something that you have to really think about or do. I mean, yeah, I got to go to my job. I got to work and make sure I continue to make income so that I can invest it in this. But it's one of those funny things because he always, and again, I'm talking about Savage Finance, he always just puts so much like hate towards dividend portfolios or just dividend investing, and it's just like, my solution is the only way it's going to work. You have to be, you know, do your own business. But like essentially it's like you're investing in someone else's business who has already proven himself as successful. So I don't see how that can be problematic, or how, you know, it's just weird to me that this is like such a hard thing for him to grasp. Now, I do admit he does sometimes will like say, "Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't work at all," um, and you know, I think a lot of his thing is trying to talk about like what's going to get you from point A to point B the quickest, not necessarily what's going to be, you know, which one gives you the best chances of getting there, because I think that's where it's a different conversation. If starting your own business and being successful in your own businesses, the criteria of what he's saying is needed, then, you know, like I said, we got to talk about the number of businesses that fail, the number of what percentage of businesses actually succeed, especially after year 5, let alone year 1. Yeah. So, you know, I'm all about starting your own business. I have my own business. I have multiple businesses. And so I'm on board. I agree. But at the same time, as you guys can see, I have portfolios where I invest as well. So I'm going to invest my money and time and energy into myself with my own business, but then also with other proven successful businesses that have already shown and demonstrated that they have a solution, they have a product, they have a formula, they have something that works that other people are a fan of and interested in and like and engage with and are willing to buy. So it's weird. It's an interesting thought process in terms of how he just hates dividend portfolio so much. And I'm only really throwing his name in the mix because he recently made a video talking about my man Richard, and you know, and he's just always bashing dividend portfolios, and it's like he's like, you know, my way or the highway, and I'm always right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. Me. No. And feel free to tag him if you want, because I say all of this with love, but it's like, nah. Like, let's be honest, most of your money comes from your YouTube channels, not these other businesses that you're starting, that you're doing and whatnot in the mix. It's like, you know, and then I remember one of his older setup, he got like a stack of cash sitting on like in the table in front of him. I just ordered these online just so I can start to have stacks of cash sitting around me and stuff in my videos when I change my setup. But I remember some guy commenting on it, and he's like, yeah, you're so real, and you're like real, and da-da, real, something real, and you know, like you show us like your cash and stuff. And I'm sitting over here like, man, this guy, he didn't comment on that video now, on that response, but then he comments on every other person who said something else in that on that video. So to me, it was like, all right, that's clearly fake cash. And yeah, we're gonna start to get on that level where I ain't trying to poke, I ain't trying to start a fight or anything. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But you know, sometimes you do gotta add a little fuel to the fire to make sure things stay warm. Because dividend portfolios do work, investing does work, being a business owner is not the only solution, because not every business owner is successful. Yes, not every dividend portfolio or every investing individual out there is going to succeed. Of course not. But and of course there are other options in terms of investing that will drastically increase your chances of just at least seeing a 10% return or 5% return or something of the sort in 15, 10, 20 years from now. You're not seeing those type of numbers with businesses, in terms of businesses that succeed. Like I said, if you do have a business that does well, yes, the sky's the limit. And I completely agree. But he never talks about those businesses that don't do well. And that's where this investing in dividend portfolios come into the mix. Yes, dividend portfolios might not produce as much of the gains that you would see from a growth portfolio, but they also probably minimize your risk. So your risks are probably drastically decreased. And that's why I said at the beginning of the video, you might want to consider having a mixture of dividend with growth in your portfolio. But to each his own. This is not financial, legal advice or anything of the sort. It's just educational and entertainment content. And I would love to hear what you guys think. Who should we get in the mix in our dividend portfolio with for AT&T? And here, look at all that money, son. We balling. And I don't know. Maybe I'll have to start making some more videos directly getting at people that be hating on my dividend portfolios. Now, he ain't hating on my dividend portfolio, but he does. He is a hater on dividends in portfolios and investing, as if it's the only way to make it and become successful. I ain't saying that. Some people might. I'm not. So I don't think he's talking about me in any of my videos, but you never know. I don't know. Either way, I got to keep it moving. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If so, like this video, give it a nice thumbs up, comment down below with your thoughts. And if you haven't already subscribed, definitely subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date on our latest and upcoming video content. All right, my friends, you already know I got to keep it moving, but I'll see you in the next video. Peace.